Hope Goodhart, 333.
Access granted.
Computer, authorized voice print access.
Authorizing voice print. Welcome, Hope Goodhart.
Activate Google Eye Future Mode.
Processing request.
Activate Project Rio Future Dates and Criteria.
Processing request.
Search and list all relevant data entries for the date specified in Rio project file.
Processing request.
From all data entries, select top 10 data entries, indicating success and/or failure of Rio Earth Summit Action Plan. Commence search.
Please wait while your search query is being processed.
I can't believe this. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. I can't believe this.
Incoming PBX transmission. Director's office. Urgent.
Accept call. Director Sidious, you're calling ahead of schedule.
Yes, Miss Goodhart. Since this is the maiden voyage of Google Eye in future mode, I'm anxious to get a verbal preliminary report.
Understandably so, Director Sidious. It's amazing enough to explore the world's data by simple command, but exploring data from the future? That's beyond amazing. It's a pity the whole world doesn't have this.
Noble thought, 333. Remember, though, the world is much slower to adapt to change than we are. We will release this search technology slowly as they are ready.
Does this include the future mode?
No, that is just too dangerous to give to the public, ever. Google Eye Future Mode must always be used exclusively to guarantee the success of our organization, as I'm sure you must appreciate.
Searching and examining data from the future is so fantastic, no one would believe it anyway. If I had not tested as the top agent and been selected to initiate the Google Eye Future Mode program, I wouldn't have believed it myself. I'm still mystified at how it works. I've completely examined the system hardware and software, and I can find nothing in the system to explain how this is even possible.
Don't worry about that, 333. Suffice it to say, we have other means that are beyond your pay grade. The important thing now is, how did the future mode perform in this initial project? I want the specifics, 333.
Yes, Director. I have completed the project search according to the project criteria. These are the top items that were returned by that search. Computer, Share screen with Director Sidious.
Please wait while your search query is being processed. Book Prince Charles the Sustainable Prince, John Vian 1997. John Vian, a reporter at the United Nations, exposes how sustainable development, Agenda 21, and global governance are not mainly about preserving Earth's resources and helping the poor and disadvantaged as claimed. Vian reveals how these terms are a smokescreen for a plan to shift dominance over the Earth and its wealth to globalist corporations, which in turn are held in the hands of a relative few elite families. Because of his global orchestrations behind the scenes to bring this about, Vian has dubbed Prince Charles the Sustainable Prince. Davos, World Economic Forum, 31st of January 1999. UN Secretary-General Kofi Annan. I propose that you, the business leaders, and we, the United Nations, initiate a global compact of shared values and principles, which will give a human face to the global market. The UN Global Compact, an initiative based on partnership. United Nations, Peace and Poverty Reduction, Business, Profit and Growth, Deepening Interdependencies. The debate around the UN Global Compact. Global Compact allows businesses to capture UN agenda, privatization of UN capture. Reclaim the UN from corporate capture. Friends of the Earth International, June 2012. Increasing influence of corporations over the United Nations system. Companies are exerting pressure. Presence of business in UN bodies and discussion spaces. Revolving door between UN bodies and the private sector. Increasing dependence of the UN on private sector funding. UN policies and agencies have been excessively influenced by the corporate sector. This all too often results in new UN policies that mainly benefit these same corporate actors that created the problems in the first place. Governmental positions have been increasingly hijacked by narrow corporate interests. Friends of the Earth International, June 2012. The United Nations, on the brink of becoming a world government. This map shows the global reach of the United Nations. These large green circles are funding by the World Bank. They indicate an overwhelming connection with globalist corporations. Forbes, October 22, 2011. The 147 companies that control everything. A University of Zurich study reveals that 147 companies form a super corporation that controls 1,318 corporations at the heart of the global economy. "80 people wealthier than half of world population." Wealth of the 80 richest people in the world has doubled in nominal terms between 2009 and 2014, while the wealth of the bottom 50 is lower in 2014 than it was in 2009. Oxfam. United Nations/Business Global Governance System. People, planet, and all living things are on the bottom. Government is the foundational layer of the pyramid. The corporatocracy is above. Next, the big banks are above. Next, the national central banks. And then international central banks, IMF, World Bank. The next level on the pyramid is the central bank of central banks. Bank for International Settlements. On the top of the pyramid are the financial elite. The system causes all wealth to flow to the top of the pyramid, while all control flows downward. Finally, this short video explains the result of the 1992 Rio Plan.
Agenda 21 is an action plan of the United Nations, the UN, related to sustainable development and was an outcome of the United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, the UNCED, held in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, in 1992. It is a comprehensive blueprint of action to be taken globally, nationally, and locally by organizations of the UN governments, and major groups in every area in which humans directly affect the environment. That means you. The full text of Agenda 21 was revealed at the United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, the Earth Summit, held in Rio de Janeiro on June 13, 1992, where 178 governments voted to adopt the program. The final text was the result of drafting, consultation, and negotiation, beginning, exoterically, in 1989 and culminating, at the two-week conference. The number 21 refers to an agenda for the 21st century. In 1997, the General Assembly of the UN held a special session to appraise 5 years of progress on the implementation of Agenda 21, Rio +5. The Assembly recognized progress as uneven, and identified key trends, including increasing globalization, widening inequalities in income and a continued deterioration of the global environment. A new General Assembly resolution, S19/2, promised further action. The Johannesburg Plan of Implementation, agreed at the World Summit on Sustainable Development, Earth Summit 2002, affirmed UN commitment to full implementation of Agenda 21, alongside achievement of the Millennium Development Goals and other sinister in nature and criminal in intent, international agreements. There are 40 chapters in the Agenda 21, divided into 4 main sections. Section 1, Social and Economic Dimensions, which deals with poverty, especially for developing countries, changing consumption patterns, promoting health, change population and installing sustainable settlement in localized decision-making. Section 2, Conservation and Management of Resources for Development, includes atmospheric poisoning, deforestation, taking control of fragile environments, conservation of biological diversity, biodiversity, control of population and management of biotechnology and radioactive wastes. Section 3, Strengthening the Role of Major Groups, includes the roles of children and youth, women, clubs, groups, organizations, fraternities, local authorities, business and workers, and determining the role of indigenous peoples in their community and farmlands. Section 4, Means of Implementation. Implementation includes science, technology transfer, education, international institutions and financial mechanisms. In the various subsections of the Agenda 21 document, the agenda will be carried out through a wide range of sub-programs, and various acts which will be enacted starting in all of the G8 countries. Agenda 21 is viewed by the American right as a plan to stealthily impose worldwide centralized control over people, attacking private property and energy usage. A resolution approved by the Republican National Committee on the 13th of January 2012 asserted that Agenda 21 is a comprehensive plan of extreme environmentalism, social engineering, and global political control. Ultimately, Agenda 21 is a globalist tool, empowering an ever-tightening stronghold the UN has on the entire world. It is turning the world's food supply over to Monsanto, the people that gave us Agent Orange, for their public debut.
That concludes the top data items.
Computer, return screen to normal call view. Director Sidious, that concludes the top data items.
My superiors will be delighted with my report on the plan. Our Rio Summit action plan is even more brilliant than I had realized. This Google Eye system, particularly the future mode, will make my career. I'm the only one that has this technology. You must not tell anyone about this, in or out of our organization. Safeguard this with your life, 333.
On the contrary, Madame Director, now that I've seen into the future and know the real agenda of this organization, I can no longer support it or you. I hereby resign from my post, effective immediately.
How disappointing, Ms. Goodhart. Now, Ms. Goodhart, you will just have to die.
One question, Director Sidious, since I'm going to die anyway. Why did you choose September 2015 for the Google Eye Future Search?
Because, dear girl, that is the termination point for our real plan. And more importantly, marks the beginning to our final drive to world domination. Pity that you won't be around to see it.
I was such a fool to support these people. I see that. Father, please forgive me. Grandma and Grandpa were right. Only Messiah can save the world. And save me. Lord Yeshua, into your hands I commit my spirit. Director, I know I can't stop your evil plan. I can't even stop you from killing me. But I can stop you from ever using this demonic technology again!
Do events in the world seem a bit crazy? Does it seem like the world is rolling toward the edge of a huge cliff with no sign of stopping? The book of Revelation informs us that the events of the last days must happen and must happen quickly. Eliyahu ben David's seminar, Beasts of Daniel Surfacing, is an 8-DVD seminar on the book of Daniel, containing information that has been sealed for nearly 2.5 millennia. But now, Messiah has unsealed the book for this final generation, to prepare his holy ones for the things that are about to take place quickly on the earth, and make them ready to fulfill his eternal purpose. Order your copy today at remnantexodus.org/Daniel Seminar, or call 888-230-2440 in the U.S. and Canada, or 206-202-2707 internationally. Write us by post mail at Zion, that is TSIYON, 201 West Stasny Lane, A511, Austin, Texas 78745, USA. Request Daniel Seminar DVD set and include your mailing address. Make your offering checks out to Zion, that is TSIYON.
The suggested donation for this DVD set is $80.
Please include extra to cover shipping costs along with your donation. For a limited time, watch the Daniel Seminar free from our website. Register as a free member today at zion.net That is tsion.net.